hadn't watched Tarang. In fact, I had watched no film of Kumar's which before, apart from getting, being told that he's a very great filmmaker. So in a way, maybe it was a good thing that I hadn't watched a single film of his, because I came in there completely straight out of drama school, trained in many, many disciplines, all kinds of ideas of acting. We even had a class with Geeti Sen on miniature painting, 10-day workshop on miniature painting, and then we had Satish Bahadur, who had come to us and given us a very lovely intensive film appreciation course. So I think at that point of time, National School of Drama had prepared me to be able to fathom working from moment to moment in Kumar Shahani film. And of course, when I was given the script, there is a mention about this lover who is across the river in the script of Var Var Vari. So I asked Kumar, I thought I was asking a very intelligent question, and a very seminal one actually. It's very important to know who's this lover across the river that, this other person and I are going to sort of, whose affections we are both sort of contesting for, or whatever it is. So who is this lover across the river? And Kumar went silent for a couple of seconds, and then he had this really mischievous, his very quintessential smile that had a hint of badmashi in it, and he said, "Your lover is a black swan." So like, black swan? And in the meantime, all of these overwhelming film students, I was over, they all started laughing. So I realized, just shut up now, don't ask another word, don't say another word. But it got me thinking, because I knew from sort of intuitively understanding Kumar that he's not just said something frivolous to make me feel stupid or put me down or to say, please, I don't want these kind of questions. He's actually said black swan. So what is a black swan and how can he be a lover? And fortunately, my literature background of doing MA in English and having read Leda and the Swan and studied it, triggered off a series of images in my head. Leda with the swan and, the whole poem. It's a very powerful poem in which the swan comes and actually ravishes Leda. The god takes this thing of a swan and then this sinewy neck, it was almost like a phallic symbol. The whole sort of strength of softness and gentleness and a strength that was... So it allowed me to enter a lot of images and a lot of sensations that were not connected to a real man, but that were deeply sensuous, that were deeply visually powerful, and where the word suddenly became, like something that's like a flowering thing. It's not just Vachik. So I never told Kumar that I'm using Leda and the Swan as a reference to arouse my sensuality within. But it connected me deeply, this answer, to nature, to the architecture, to the spaces that the camera was framing. So, and then of course he would give us a small instruction like, you can just touch this, touch this. But suddenly there was this idea of touch. It wasn't just that you touch it, but there's almost like a quality of caress, So his way of getting, answering my question about who's my lover was one that allowed me to experience numerous sensations at many levels, viscerally, physically, imaginatively. And obviously that leads to a stylization. So in fact, in a small film like Var Var Vari, there are times when I've used Manipuri dance steps to walk away from the tree in this early morning shot, because we've done Manipuri dance at drama school. And there are many things that if you start dissecting the film, I'll say, this is from here, and I've used a dance step here, and I've done this here, and I've done that there, and walked in different ways like a dancer. And then I realized that, well, with a director like this, you have to be not just an actor who's looking for some emotional something. You have to kind of have your entire body responding to architecture, to space, to something in front of you, to a lot of things. And I see that in Tarang as well. I hadn't seen Tarang, but this is the first time I'm seeing it. But if one has seen a wonderful actress, very beautiful, like Smita Patil in all of the other films that she's won these awards for and things like Shyam Benegal and all, you suddenly see her as a very different presence here. I don't know what Kumar must have said to her, but knowing Kumar, he must have given her something that I'm sure must have allowed her to think beyond just performing an emotion in a certain way. And I realize now in hindsight that this thing which he told me, your lover is a black swan, must have been so that as a 24-year-old, I don't get into the cliches about what it means to have a lover, a man, a boyfriend. So there's no face, there's no, well, those days we didn't look for six-packs, abs, but people do now talk about the ideal lover, man, whatever. So the idea was to go away from a physical form and enter into something else, you know. And I think one sees that even perhaps with the actors here, where even someone like Om Puri, who I acted a lot with and who was very precise about actually hitting the emotion tuck like that in one go. But here you can see that he allows you to see what is he thinking actually, you know. So he allows the characters allow you to enter a worldview of their lives. And they're not unconscious people. They're conscious at the same time. They are, you know, they're caught up with the way the world has placed them. So I think that's fantastic in a performance to be able to bring emotion, but at the same time to present the larger scape of, you know, the world as and the director's worldview, of course, you know. So I think Kumar never looked for the obvious. He never looked for a direct emotion, a cliche, I would say, in what we understand as emotion. But at the same time, you know, the power of what he creates, it just stays with you. And because I think that's what it does. It just stays with you, like, you know, like Ozu's films do. Right?